Vibration creates.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of November 30th and December 1st, 2024. I'm Astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks so much for being a part of HighVibe.tv, Rabbit. If you're not part of HighVibe.tv, now is the time. It's Cyber Monday. HV World 24 is the code for 30% off all subscriptions. And of course, everything that you see on HighVibe.tv, including apparel, everything, subscriptions, paid videos, all of it. Also, if you want to try HighVibe TV Premium Plus, that gives you all the school access, gives you part of the weekly schools, gives you part of everything that there is HighVibe, including the specials. There's a 50% off discount, HV World Plus 24. Everything is on the links down below. Or just go to highvibe.tv. You'll see it right there on the front landing page. Truly appreciate it. And I hope everybody's had a good Thanksgiving. Here we are for this new moon in Sagittarius horoscope, which is a very odd new moon. It's also really kickstarting us into some really new energies here. But before we take a look at all the planets, let's take a look at the Leo King's planet energy meter to understand where all the energy is for your new moon in Sagittarius weekend horoscope. I'm sending you lots of great energy, lots of love and light, and hoping that you have an awesome and amazing weekend. Well, for this new moon, I'm putting the energy meter at the extreme position. Beep, boop, boop, boop. That's because this is an extreme one. A new moon in Sag happening at 9.5 degrees of Sagittarius and square to Saturn. That's at 12 and about 0.5 degrees of Pisces. So we're in this approaching square to Saturn, while at the same token, this new moon in Sag has been in trine to Mars and this North Node, but it's the separating trine and the grand trine really that's been happening. Now, Mars is about to stop in retrograde as we come into this first week of December. Same thing with Neptune. It's going to station direct hours right after Mars stations retrograde. So we're in Delulu town with Neptune, right? Always the week to two before a planet stations retrograde or direct, especially the outers or Saturn, you feel that planet fully. So Neptune at the end of Pisces, it's going to come into finally an ingress into Aries at the beginning of 2025 here in the spring. So I think it's really important for us to go, okay, this is an important week with Neptune coming up. This new moon's about this whole new energy. Pluto's now in Aquarius. The last new moon, it was in Capricorn. So, looking at this, it's like, one, the square to Saturn. We are in a Mercury retrograde at the same time, too, that's in opposition to Jupiter. That Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius at its detriment. Sure, there's a mutual reception with Jupiter, because Jupiter is the ruler of Sag, and Jupiter's in Gemini at detriment, but if they were to swap, they'd be at home. But there's a lot of oppositions, and there's a lot of this new Pluto Aquarius energy that I think it's kind of hard to fully gauge the future because this Sag energy, this Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, this Neptune stationed that's about to station direct at the end of this, when Mars retrogrades on December 6th. And then Neptune follows that to station direct. It's like, this is us coming into this where every choice you make, it's like, am I looking at this fully? Not letting your beliefs, because right now your beliefs, your opinions, your perspectives can just get thrown into some crazy shit. And I think that we don't want to be wearing that dunce cap right now. Because right now it's like you don't want to regret stuff and you don't want to go into the past and be like, I regret what I did, so let me try and fix it by bringing the past to the present. No, we move forward by how we take our accountability and actions moving forward in life. So if let's say you always never went to work and you're ready to start going to work. Well, you don't go back to the old job and go, I'll go to work now, I swear. No, in the new job and how you deal with things forward. Same thing like if you're in a relationship. I don't like the way I was in communication in a relationship. Okay, well, you don't call the ex back and try to bring them back into your life to fix it. How you deal with people moving forward is how you deal with it. And so this is the new moon of what I'm calling the bait. Right? With Neptune that's in Pisces, that's in Delulu, stopped at the end of Pisces, with the square that this new moon has to Saturn in Pisces, this is just like the bait. And even with Pluto in Aquarius right now, dispositing Uranus, I think that, it's almost like it's just laughing, ready to see who it can really pick up, because using the emergency escape hatch, Pluto and Aquarius, I can't deal with the conflict. Mars, that's basically stopped here. It's like doing what, like 7 minutes a day? I don't know. I'm on the green screen right now, but it's like, it's not moving. All right, and it's in opposition to Pluto. This whole I'm not getting the way I want it. I don't like the way life is. And these are the stories we can kind of create. And then it's like, you know what? It was always bad. It's never good. And then using the escape hatch. It's only for emergencies. The universe is having us confront things. Logically, how are we going to deal with this conflict of Mercury in opposition to Jupiter? Especially with Mercury in Sag in detriment and Jupiter in detriment and retrograde in Gemini. Especially as Mercury's retrograde. So it's really hard because you look at both dispositors and they're both retrograde. I think that this is really important because we're getting ready for that Mercury retrograde to square Saturn too in the following couple week and a half. We're getting ready for Jupiter retrograde to come into square to that Saturn. I think that this is a time where the bait is really people who want to escape. Accountability, responsibility, and the subconscious problems with not facing that deeper stuff within you of are you self-sabotaging? Are you self-sabotaging this moment? Are you self-sabotaging good things in your life? I mean, we have to have a better macro perspective of things while at the same time the micro and bounce back and forth. And we need to let the story play out more. This is not a time where you're going to have clarity, right? This isn't also a time to just follow your intuition only, right? We need to have the whole story, the intuitive story. What's the facts on the ground? Okay, what's your opinion? What's your beliefs coming into this? Where's your conditioning? What do other people have to say? What's going on when it comes to my own happiness? These are things that are all being thrown into this pot, and it is a wobbly time, especially that Mars is ready to station retrograde in Leo, and at the same time, Neptune ready to station direct in the next, following this new moon in the days that come after it. And we also have Pluto now in Aquarius for the next 19 years. I think it's like, okay, does everything have to be fixed so extreme? And so are we spending all of our beliefs about something that always has to be fixed? Something that always has to be understood, or making other people understand your values, or other people understanding your deep needs, and always contrasting what you don't get or what other people don't feel that they get, or what you think that you deserve more. This can really get like giving the Pope way too much amphetamine or something like that. And letting the Pope just go run around town and yell at everybody who's not Catholic or something. This is not the time to be spouting off. I would watch your mouth too, right? I mean, it's good for humor right now. It's good for observation. It's good for not having conclusions. Assumptions right now, not going to end out well. And I think that at the same token, it's hard to see our future right now. It's like, it feels so blind. It feels, especially with Saturn and Pisces in this square, with this new moon that's approaching, even just after this new moon this weekend, boom, just coming into it while Mars is going to retrograde and Neptune station direct. And then, of course, we got Venus heading towards Pluto and so forth. It's Venus trine Uranus as well. That's on the approach. That's within about a degree and a half here. I think this is more about the aftermath of this new moon, understanding there's going to be so many changes, and it's about getting every viewpoint that we can, every part of the story to be understood before we make big choices. This is that new moon where I would say, if you're making a big choice, you got to ask yourself, am I just using an escape pod? To something I'm not confronting, to something I created a belief system off, to some way I'm trying to alter the story that fate and destiny has a way for it to go, but I just want my own subconscious and self-undoing and all of that to rule over my belief system now. So are you putting your own self-sabotaging as your own Pope in your own soul on top of everything? I hope not. But it's going to be easy to see, because these are going to be crazy stories that start coming out, ways that people deal with themselves and others, and communication is definitely not the easiest right now. And also, this is a new moon that is on the fixed star and Taurus. And so I think it's like, this is where we could feel this ultra power to just, I believe what I believe and I'm just going to go do it. And it's like, this is not a super powerful moment of running into that idea of the true, I don't even want to say true, but the perspective idea of what powerful is, or almighty greatness is. You know, it's about understanding, what do we already have in front of us? What's this story continuing to build upon, and staying in that place without self-undoing, without running into our subconscious, not trying to run backwards and try and fix the past, not trying to fix too much either and getting obsessed with fixing things, or also being too cold, right? And not showing up with our heart enough. Because that's the problem with Pluto and Aquarius now, right? Pluto Capricorn's like, I got to get this shit done. Got to stop. I can't just rest. I can't do the family thing. I got to go to work, right? Well, now it's Pluto in Aquarius. So it's like, oh, are you being too cold? You know, show up with love. And so Mars is gonna put a good fight in, but it's not gonna win this battle. Pluto in Aquarius is gonna be here for 19 years. So Mars is gonna oppose this Pluto for the next 19 years, and Mars and Pluto are gonna be having big battles for the next 19 years in Leo and Aquarius. So this Mars thinks, oh, I can fight for what I want, and why is it not connecting enough? Whatever it is outside of you, like Pluto represents that outside of ourselves, that emotional need that we want. Well, it's about learning how to magnetize and draw things in, while at the same time allowing the story of situations to play out. I really think that's key. And everything that you're coming to some big choice in, it's going, am I being a fucking self-destructive, self-sabotaging idiot dunce? 2, am I trying to find an escape out of conflict instead of dealing with conflict and finding better ways and opportunities on how to communicate better, how to observe our life better, how to have better, belief systems, better ethics, better understanding of our own opinions. Those are the things that you should ask before you do things. And then the big question is the problem, is the problem as big as it really is? Or am I just creating it to be this kind of like edge of the cliff situation in order to self-sabotage another thing? And then again, this obsession with trying to fix things, like, does it need to be fixed? I mean, trust me, I'm a guy, I know. We've learned our lesson that when you come into your life and you get married or anything, or you're dealing with relationships with girls, right? Like us men know, like, we want to fix things. Girls hate that shit. They just want to listen to us, have us listen to them and us be there for them. It's a lesson every guy's got to learn. And I'm not saying that everybody has to learn that in this moment, but it is one of those weird things where it's like, Pluto and Aquarius is very much, let me fix everything. Here, let me try and figure out the code to how to decipher the whole thing. And it becomes kind of cold. So even though we're in Sag with Jupiter retrograde, that dispositor of right now, Sag being that planet Jupiter retrograde detriment in square to Saturn. I mean, I don't think that this is a big hurrah moment for Sag. It's about the hurrah of just being grateful and understanding, like, hey, there's a lot to this story and more curiosities and more to reveal here and a lot to reveal. And it's also the beginning of these new chapters and new stories in our lives, just making the beginnings understandings. And the worst thing that we can do is self-sabotage things and self-destruct the story before it really even starts to get good. So it might feel like your story of your life right now is at this place where it's not really that great of a story anymore. That's probably normal right now. Let it play out. There is no better story than the one you're already in right now. Stop trying to change it so quick. Take the time to make sure that you're not going to be the dunce writing on the chalkboard, I'm an idiot, I won't say that again, I won't do this again, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the dunce moment for many souls, and I would just hate for you to fall into that, and I hope that this video definitely helps you. Make sure that you join us on highvibe.tv, of course, to watch daily videos like this every day, and of course, also all the other shows like Deep Astrology, Full Disclosure, and me doing sun signs and all these other stuff, and in the community as well. Plus, use the discount code down below or highvibe.tv during this Cyber Monday, Black Friday sale. It ends Tuesday morning. All right, let's see what the card is for this new moon energy here. We're definitely in a new space, but we're in between spaces, and there is no way to fully see it all. So trust me, whatever you think is going to be better by jumping out of something in any situation, a job, a situation, whatever it may. It's Delulu. You're fighting. Go get your head checked. 6 of Cups reversed. You know what? That makes sense. 6 of Cups, it's always that nice place where we hang with our friends, our siblings, and so forth, and we're watched over. It's a nice, safe space. It is reversed. I know it doesn't feel like the most comfortable, chill space. It doesn't feel like everything's connecting. It doesn't feel like the most beautiful moment of all time. That's no excuse, though, to destroy or pull the emergency. You know, when you're in a jet, I was a plane captain on an F-18 squadron, and I was in the U.S. Navy. And when you pull the eject handle, guess what that means? $22 million gone. There's no bringing the jet back at that point. So everybody needs to start thinking more like that right now. Are you just ejecting without thinking of all the repercussions of what's going to happen, and the regrets are more what are ahead than continuing to look at your regrets from the past? The way that you handle regrets from the past is to not do regrettable things in the future and in the moment. I appreciate you all. I hope to see you on highvibe.tv. Truly appreciate it. I know a lot of you that probably haven't seen me on a green screen horoscope in a long time, but I thought I'd bring them back to High Vibe and back in my life. Because it allows deep astrology to be the chart, lets it be that way, and lets me come up and rap the way that I like to do. I appreciate you all very much. Thanks so much for being a part of High Vibe. I'll see you on any of our apps or the website, highvibe.tv.
Yo. Okay.
Monster.